Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Martha Koome, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court and the President of Judiciary, may not survive the onslaught that has started in 2025. What is packaged in media and is packaged in these corridors as effort to wipe out corruption in the judiciary could actually be a secret weapon that has been sharpened to kick out Martha Koome from judiciary. I still hold my stand in this podcast that the decision that Martha Koome made to try to have some bromance with William Ruto is what will lead, or what is leading her tenure to be the most disastrous since the 2010 Constitution. Because I think the decision she made to try to see if he has a working relationship with President Ruto was a sign of submission. Why? But again, in this podcast, several and many of us don't agree with the tenure of Martha Koome. Looking at how they handled regarding Gachagua impeachment, I did feel that much as the state was really pushing the judiciary to veer off from that process because they said it's a political process, I think the judiciary needed to inject some sense and of course answer several legal questions on that impeachment, and not just to mention is Azimio la Umoja case in 2022. All that is water under the bridge. But again, I will not sit in this desk to be skewed enough to feel that injustice can just go, or rather injustice should ride on hate. A question I want to answer: why do you think that the state wants to rearrange Supreme Court before 2027? That question has come so early. But again, I want to look at this whole discussion, and you will agree with me that what many other observers will look at and say it's an effort to clean judiciary could actually be part of a wider scheme to show her the door. Let's look at this in details, but before that, I want to remind you about our urgent appeal we are running here. We have one of us, Charles, who collapsed in the house somewhere in Kayole. He was rushed to the hospital and put on oxygen for more than 1 week. The situation really deteriorated. But again, he was confirmed to be suffering meningitis, which has also come from another underlying condition. So he's been treated, but of course he's still stranded there because the bill has ballooned. He was taken in Radiant Hospital. The bill has ballooned to 290,000. He requested us that if we can help to at least cover half of that bill, the hospital will be able to waive the other part of the half. Then from that end, or rather on other side, they will also be able to get a way so that he can be transferred to Seme, where he has his only brother who can take care of him as he undergoes through medication. Because here in Nairobi, he does not have a support system. Now, that is the urgent appeal we are running, and I'm reaching out to us that if possible, we only have tomorrow. On Monday, when I'm back in Nairobi, the first thing we'll do is we rush to that hospital and discharge Charles so that he can be transferred. Now, we only have a deficit now. I think we've done 124,000 as I talk now, and I want to say thank you. Our target was 200,000. Now we are 76 short of that target. We still have our way until Monday, and we believe it is possible. Kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. The little you contribute, it will add, na tuta make sure kwamba we accomplish this. We normally support this. This is not something new. Founder members of this channel know very well They wanajua, we did. We've done the maximum of 1.2. Tukatoa the late Sarah, may God rest her soul in peace.
Na nilikuwa naomba usaidizi, nisaidiwe. Hospitali hii mahali niko nishatibiwa kweli, wameshanitibu. Sasa pesa imepanda 290. Sasa wanataka kusimamisha matibabu. Sasa naomba kama inawezekana, kama inaweza badilishwa, ni badilishwe, kwa sababu hakuna matibabu inaendelea. Ndio.
Now, I want us to look at a tweet that I find very interesting on this matter, and I want us to look at that tweet. Let me just take a second and retrieve it, because it is really going to give us a real feel happy. Edwin Dande is saying, there has been a constructive evolution of Judicial campaign over the last 2 days. Specific complaints rather than mob justice. The initiative to identify the instances of judicial misconduct particularize the grounds rather than a blanket mob justice is the right way. The call by Nelson Harvey for complaints filed and Law Society of Kenya initiative to develop database of complaints will now focus on bad apples. It will be very dangerous to condemn the entire judiciary. Yet we have really good magistrates. Rather than unspecified accusations against the CJ, Martha Koome, the principal accusation is now emerging, tolerating cases of corruption. That's heavy but very fair accusation. Let's see how she handles it. It is very important to face the problem away from mob justice on Martha Koome. I have a disclaimer here. When you listen to what a video of these 3 lawyers explaining, Martha Koome is being accused of being in charge of a corrupt judiciary.
I think it's the beginning of a long journey that we want to undertake as both the senior bar and former chairman of the Law Society. We have started the first step, to say that there's a problem in the justice sector. We are using the issue of title just as an example. I mean, it could apply to another case. It could apply to children's case. It could apply to a commercial matter. But I think Kenyans relate more to the issue of a title, and that's why we are giving it as an example. And I think the other thing we're saying is that let us collect this data of all this malfeasance, all this corruption, all this. Once we have this data, the next logical steps, I think, we will share with Kenyans on how we'll move forward. But this is the baby step we are taking today, and I think this is the foundation that we recognize as former chairman of Law Society and lawyers who have practiced, for so many years, that we are at a critical juncture. I mean, there is a big problem facing our judiciary. I mean, there is impunity, there is corruption, all these issues. But we are not naming like I normally do that so and so is resigning. That's my own personal views. But you follow our steps and our progress as we go to 2025. The Judicial Service Commission for 2 years, the formative part. And the Judicial Service Commission has, there's a statute, there's the constitution that states how a judge should be removed. When Martha Koome came to office, she made a policy decision that, that judges, can be removed either on corruption or incompetence. It's in the constitution, the word incompetence. And incompetence is, for example, if a judge is told to make a determination on how many sun do we have on the sky, and the judge says there are 3 suns. That one, you don't need any other decision. You know that judge is competent. Judges have been making ridiculous decisions like there are 3 suns in the skies. And when you make a complaint, Mother Koome has brought a rule that is now a decisional independence. One is a judge makes a decision, no matter how ridiculous it is. And we have complained. Our clients have complained. She will say that, no, you can't touch them because it's a decision they have made. In other words, she has legitimized the corruption through judgment and given them impunity. That is why, I mean, how many complaints do Kenyans make? Thousands. I mean, ask Dr. Korea, myself, we make complaints. They will just, if you are lucky, sometimes you are not even lucky. If you are lucky, they will just send you, they say that your complaint is based on a judgment of the court, there is decisional independence. What of incompetence? The Constitution says you can remove someone on incompetence. But she is protecting judges. That is why, this desperation of lawyers and clients now is that we have to take this argument to another level. We have Judicial Service Commission is no longer an option because Mother has made it, a club that protects judges. That is why we are looking for now evidence. That is now we will go frontal attack on the judiciary because, we can't get justice through the Judicial Service Commission.
And I agree that that judiciary is clean. And they are saying that there are judges that give some verdicts or give some judgments, they pass some judgments, but they cannot be challenged because Martha Koome is giving them decisional independence. I want you to listen to that. So, this is one of the grounds that this team have raised against Martha Koome. They've come out and they've said they're putting everything bare, that because kuna majaji wanapitisha vitu or they come out with some judgments which may be unpopular or may not augur well with some fellows, but they cannot be challenged because they're getting protection from Martha Koome. I want to tell you for sure, what you are seeing now is what happened in January 2024. Do you remember the time the president moved around the country condemning judiciary and condemning judges that allegedly were giving judgments that stopped government projects? Now, that condemnation, name-calling and threat went on for some time until it culminated in Martha Koome convening a closed-door meeting with President Ruto. Now, even after that meeting, government in 2025, 2024 continued to lose cases in court. Several projects, government projects, have been challenged in court and have been stalled. Now, in what is seen here, these 3 gentlemen, and of course the clique of lawyers, they're coming out as the champions to fight corruption and wipe out corruption and even remove some judges. It is quite in order. But all this quacks like a duck and looks like one. I tend to see that the blanket accusations against Martha Koome, she needs to address that. But all in it, a plan that will see her resign, calling her to resign at this point will be a bit premature. But I want to tell you why. These fellows look like guns for hire. There are 4 contentious issues that I can tell you is at the center of a plan to rearrange the Supreme Court bench. This is what the state is saying. There is a probability that judiciary might resuscitate the political career of Rigathi Gachagua. And people have been asking this. Will Rigathi get justice in the court? William Ruto's greatest threat as we speak now in 2027 is not Kalonzo Musyoka, is not Okiya Mtata, is not Raila Odinga. William Ruto's worry is none other than Rigathi Gachagua. And if in any case the court is going to give a nod for Rigathi Gachagua to try his hand in presidency, then life is going to become very difficult for the president, especially during his campaign period. And so one of the things that probably I'm seeing here is someone wants to rearrange and tweak the the judiciary because of Rigathi Gachagua impeachment case, and it might really surprise the country. The second aspect is the presidential election petition. I can always tell you this, that every government will always try to remain in power. In 2027, if President Ruto realizes that I'm going to lose the popular vote, he's going to do everything and anything at his disposal in his ability to ensure he retains power. Now, to that end, it can open loopholes that will see a case heading to Supreme Court. Now the deep state have to sit down and think, the kind of Supreme Court we have, like 2022, they passed a judgment, it favored us. Do you think if we do something mischievous in 2027, they will defend us? Now, that will necessitate the thinking of tweaking that bench. Then the third aspect is presidential government projects collapsing in court. I tend to see that this could be a highly mooted move from the big man so that they can reprofile and bring back that discussion about corrupt judges. What Nelson Harvey and Ahmed Nasir, who is a personal friend to the president, is saying is something that the president said last year. Is it not just that debate coming back? The other issue it could be that internal fighting within the judiciary are spilling out. And remember, Ahmed Nasir, should not forget that Ahmed Nasir was banned from appearing in before Supreme Court judges. And of course, he lost a chunk of clients because of that ban. So even all said and done, there is also a bone to chew with Martha Koome. From where I'm seated, someone wants to tweak the bench. And so the blanket accusation, while it is legitimate on Martha Koome, the timing, the approach, and the call for her to resign is very suspect. What do you think, guys? Thank you. Welcome to the Bold Analysis. Thank you, guys. I'm back. Team Bold Network. Asanteni sana. I'm back to Watamu. This is Edison.
Yeah.
And Harrison.
Yes,
so I'm just going to give all of them, both of them, to acknowledge the work we have done. They're going to give so much of what we're going to do apart from the house. This was the model of the wheelchair that we are doing. So this has already been brought. This is the first one. So pale wanaweka hizi vitu za kukando inaekwa. So ya hii iko somewhere there. This is the model wheelchair, the ones that we are designing. So after they're done with this, then another one is going to be brought. But already they have these ones. Now, Harrison, tuambie mambo nyumba imefika aje na umekuwa namna gani?
The house is completed, but still they work hard. They work to make sure they paint the house inside, and then we say thank you for the supporters, for supporting us to make us the house. Nashukuru Mungu sana kwa hii nyumba ambayo umenisaidia kujenga. Tulikuwa hatuna mahali kwa kulala na kuishi, lakini tunashukuru kwa msaada ambao mmetufanyia. Yani tunashukuru, mejengwa. Sasa bado mafuta naendelea tu kupaka rangi humo ndani, yani kupaka rangi humo ndani kumalizia hiyo nyumba. Alafu pia tunaomba msaada wa choo, yani choo tuchimbie pia hiyo choo, manake tutashukuru sana kwa huo msaada yani.
So guys, this issue of the choo, there's already a toilet here, but it's a very filthy state, and kwa sababu wao hawezi scroll through, we already discussed with them. They are going to point out where we can do the chore. So immediately after Christmas, that is the next thing we will come back here to do. Josh is doing the work. Josh, tuambie nyumba umefikisha wapi bana? Umechukua muda sana, but tuambie umefikisha wapi and what is remaining.
Okay, thank you. My name is Joshua. Nimekuwa nikisimama hapa kusimamia hii ujenzi. Nashukuru sana for the support. By now, if you see the outside, we have painted, and now we are going on to accomplish the inside part of the house. And the only thing that the main only thing that is remaining is just to paint the inside. And after
Plaster.
yes, plaster we have finished. Only small finishing we are doing there. And the only thing that is remaining, the main thing is to paint the inside, so that the house can at least shine. So I'm also appreciating so much for your support, and may God bless you for supporting the two brothers who could not afford to have their own house, and now at least they are well relieved. And thank you very much for this organization. I'm so much pleasant and I'm so much comfortable and happy for your support. Thank you very much.
You're going to do cash transfer. Yeah, Edison, yeah, umesema biashara ni
ya kuuza njugu.
Kuuza njugu. So you're going to support that, kuuza njugu. And yako ni ya?
Yangu ni ya kuuza ice cream. Yes, ice cream.